So now we would like to welcome Jessica. Hello, hi Jessica. 其他同学把摄像头都打开好了，其他同学摄像头都打开。然后的话呢，话筒可以先不用打开。
没有开出来。
Yes. Okay. So now let's first welcome Jessica. Jessica has a little sister, June, so they did this family project together. Shall we begin, Jessica?
Okay.
Okay.
We celebrate World Innovation Day. We read the book, The Girl Who Never Made Mistakes. The scene impressed me most is that her little brother is exactly the opposite of her. He doesn't care about making mistakes. In fact, he enjoys it. For example, he eats the crayons while drawing with the beans. It reminds me of my little sister. She always spills something when she did that. She will cry. For this project, I interviewed my mom because I want to find out what mistake did she have when she was young. She told me a story when she poured water on a fan, trying to make herself cooler in summer. This story attracted my sister's attention. We listened attentively to Mom, and we asked a lot of questions. Then I thought it would be a great idea that we can act it out. My sister can be my mom, and I can be the director. I was wondering if I were at my mom's situation and her age, what would I do? I discussed it with my classmates. They gave me a lot of funny yet practical solutions. It is also the first time I work together with my sister because we don't play often. She is too small. During this process, both of us enjoy it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. Now I'm going to share the video that Jessica and June made together.
Hi, my name is Jessica. This is my sister June. Today, we will tell you a story about my mom's mistake when she was young, like my sister. One hot summer day, my mom felt hot. She said,
"Oh, it's so hot. The wind is hot too. The water is cold. It can be cool. It's not working.
This is dangerous. Do not ever do that." I told the story to my friends and think, if I were my mom, what would I do? Here are some ideas. First, put the t-shirt in the fridge. Wait for 5 minutes, then take it out. Put it on. Then you'll feel cool.
Cool.
Second, open the fridge.
Cool.
Third, put some Fengyou on your forehead. And face the fan.
Cool.
Fourth, get myself wet. Then sit in front of the fan. Fifth, eat a mint candy and open your mouth. Let the wind blows into the mouth. Thanks for looking.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Jessica. So that's Jessica's presentation and her project with her little sister. A very interesting story and mistake. Okay, took place when her mom was very little. And now let's welcome Amy. Amy is going to share with us another story.
Hello, my name is Amy. I'm 12 years old. Last month, I read a book named The Girl Who Never Made Mistakes. In this book, the most impressive scene is when Beatrice slipped and she immediately catches eggs. How swiftly is she? I can tell she doesn't want to make any mistakes. Is mistake a bad thing? I interviewed my mom because I want to find out what mistakes did my mom make. First, I asked her, but she cannot recall any. So she started to research through the photos. Suddenly, he found a beautiful picture about a lake. Then she remembered the mistake of my dad. Today I want to talk about a story that's how my family returned the mistake into something beautiful. On a summer vacation, we had a trip by car to a place far away. My dad drove the wrong way, but he was calm. Then he followed Ross's direction and drove on the big road. We weren't anxious or panic. Instead, we played some interesting games. Suddenly, we saw a clear of land with a lot of flowers. It's bigger than a nature park, and there was a beautiful lake. We are surprised and delighted about our new discovery. At last, we had a picnic there. Although we didn't go to the place we wanted to go, but we were very excited for that trip. I knew a mistake also can have a beautiful discovery. And I had a lot of experience of speaking in public. At first, I was very nervous, but now I am fine with that. When I was fully prepared, I am confident that I won't make any mistakes. Even if I made a mistake, I would think I've done my best. Then I'll move on. However, if I receive a task suddenly that I won't have enough time to prepare, I would be very nervous. So my tip is, the more nervous you are, the chances are you are going to make a mistake. Why not enjoy the stage? Take a deep breath and focus one point. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. That's a lovely presentation, and she gave us a lot of tips too for the public speaking. Thank you. And now we are going to the boys group. Okay, for the boys group, they have done a comparative study, and they linked something happened to their parents and to themselves. So let's welcome Sam. Yes, Sam, you can start.
Okay, we read a book, The Girl Who Never Made Mistakes. What impressed me most is that we'll have cooking class at the school. You are most likely to make a mess everywhere. Not to mention you have to work with others. That I can imagine it must be a lot of fun. After class, I would like to interview my parents about the mistakes they made when they were young, because I think they can't make too many mistakes. They teach my brother and me every day, not do this, not do that. I want to interview my dad because I think my dad will have more mistakes than my mom. First, I asked what mistakes do you still remember when your childhood? He says he ate 2 bowls of porridge and 8 bowls for his breakfast. He was so full that his stomach hurts and he can't even stand up. Next, I asked who makes more mistakes, childhood or adults. He thinks when he was adults make most mistakes. He thinks because he thinks the mistakes in his childhood is just mischievous, but when he grows up, he has to make choice himself and he will bear the results. Finally, I asked what mistake have you made recently? One day, he forgets the time of my little brother's class. So my little brother was 30 minutes late. He was very sad and upset. After hearing about my father's story, I realized you shall make more try in your childhood. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Because when you grow up, you will shoulder responsibility himself. After interviewing with my dad, I start to thinking about our mistakes. When I was younger, I often forgot handing in my homework. Now I have problems in time management. When I focus on something, I always forget time. So I may finish up our taste tasks rapidly. Now I learn to make a list. Put the priority on top and then follow the order. It helps. Thanks.
Thank you, Sam. That's lovely. And wow, your dad is really a big eater. He can eat 8 baozi. That's incredible. And thank you for your sharing. And now let's welcome Jet.
My name's Jet. When I was reading The Girl Who Never Made Mistakes, I came across the scene that puzzled me a lot. That is when the Beatrice was having dinner. She was so worried about her show that she really ate anything. Dad asked her why. She told him her worry, but Dad didn't take it seriously because he believes that she never makes mistakes. When other people, even your parents, take it for granted that what kind of person you are, then you are trapped. After reading, we decided to carry out our research. Some chose to interview their parents. Some went to interview classmates. But I want to interview my teacher because I think teachers seldom make mistakes. So I interviewed Wendy Wang, who is the teacher in the Language Training Center. The first question is, what is the biggest mistake you made when you were young? Wendy said, when I was young, mistake can be depressing. The mistake is embarrassing and depressing. Everyone hopes never making a mistake, but it seems difficult to avoid mistakes as a young student. What mistake have you made? Did you ever make a mistake when you were young? How did you feel? What did you do then? Did you make the same mistake again? Our teachers seem never made mistakes. Is that true? The first question is, what is the biggest mistake you made when you were young? Wendy said, when I was young, I misunderstood a classmate for talking during self-study study hours. I wrote her name on a notebook and reported to the teacher. Teachers also made mistakes. One day it was in a Chinese class. My deskmate was talking a lot, so I told her to stop talking. Suddenly the teacher turned back. She thought that I was talking to my deskmate, so the teacher quizzed me. It felt so bad to be misunderstood. Mistake can be a lesson. What will we do if we face a similar situation as theirs? Therefore, I asked Wendy what would she do if she went back to that time. She said, first, I would ask what happened. Do not accuse anyone. Then I would say sorry to the students. After hearing what she said, I think I need to be braver to tell the truth to the teacher. The best way to avoid misunderstanding is communication and being open and honest. Thank you.
Thank you, Jet. So for our within mistake project, so we conclude that we learn from our mistakes, we improve from our mistakes, and also we create from our mistakes. So let's just celebrate innovation with all our students and young readers. Thank you.
Very good. Thanks for sharing. I mean, amazing conclusions. And thanks for sharing your projects and experiences. So, making mistakes is not bad always, right?
Yes.
Yes. But is making mistakes also a good thing? Or can you turn it into a good thing? What do you think?
Sometimes making mistake is a good thing, but sometimes it's not.
Yes. So those phrases at the end that Yang shared, that we create and we learn, they're very important. How do you feel about mistakes now? Are you afraid of trying something new because of mistakes, or how do you feel about it?
I'm not afraid of making mistake now.
You're not afraid of making mistakes now. What about the rest? Do you feel the same? Yes?
Yes. I feel the same. Yes.
Now, other friends may not think the same way you do. So how are you trying to tell them and share with them how to feel about mistakes? Has anyone shared with a family or a friend that it is okay to make mistakes and do something good? Not yet?
I think, yes, Jet.
I feel embarrassing.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Jet. So I think what we are doing now for all these 4 students, so they stand up on a global stage and sharing their experience to people around the world. That takes a big courage for all of them. For English is not their mother tongue, nor their second language. So they have already proved to their classmates and peers. So whenever they may be a little bit feared or afraid of making mistake. And all of these students can tell you, look, I stand here to give my speech. And of course, I made a lot of mistakes and I knew that, but I enjoy this moment and I'm not afraid of it anymore. And that is something they can learn from our performance today.
Yes, and they have done great. What do you think,
Yes.
Janina? Do you have any questions for them?
Yeah, I think this is incredible. All of you guys have so much courage to be here today. Yeah, okay. I do have a question. Do you guys think that when you grow up, the impact of this project that you guys work on will still be there? Anyone can answer. Up to you guys.
就是主持人的问题是，你们觉得当你们长大了之后，我们这次在这里做的这个项目，是不是我们的 WIMP WIS 对你们的影响还会影响到你们长大之后吗？比如说你们长大之后还会记得这段经历吗？影响是什么呢？Sam，要不试试看？你觉得当你长大之后，这段经历
When I grow up, I think I'll not forget this. It can let me, when I was adult, it can let me not forget the time, and it's communication and being open and honest.
Does anyone else have anything they'd like to say, contribute? Or shall I move on to the next question? Okay. Let's see. Do you guys have any new thoughts that you've come up with through reading The Girl Who Never Made a Mistake? Okay.
Yeah, how about this? Janina, you look like their age. Any your personal stories about making any mistakes you would like to share with us, with these young students as well?
Yeah, so I'm a little bit older than them. I'm 14. So I think that every time you make a mistake, you look at it, and in the moment you might feel really embarrassed. But after a little while, you look back on it and you're like, okay, I understand why I made this mistake. How can I use, potentially I messed up on like a math problem. How can I use this mistake to better myself as a math student? Or how am I able to use a mistake I might have made with a friend that maybe I apologize to them and then I correct the situation? I think that when you don't make mistakes, when you try to shy away from everything you don't know how to do, when you're scared of making mistakes, you end up losing out on a lot of opportunities you could have had because of this fear, because you're holding yourself back.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Janina. That's a lovely contribution to our discussion today. So any other students, do you have any questions for our Miss Host or Arturo as well? 你们有没有什么问题想问主持人小姐姐或者是这个 Arturo？ 你们可以问他，是不是？
想问的问题。
你们有没有想问的问题？ Nope. Okay, great.
Now, okay, so here goes a challenge for you guys. What do you think would be the next step now that you appreciate the importance and the value that you can get from mistakes? what do you think could be next for you now that you know all of this? Anyone has an idea of something new you want to try or something you want to learn? I mean, you speak English like very good, and that is and you have done like awesome presentations. So what is next? What are your plans? What do you want to do?
就是以后你们准备怎么做？就是知道犯了一些错误啊，从错误当中也学到一些问题啊。
Yes, I have a big problem. One is why focus on something. I always forget time. So I have an idea. So I may finish up the other things especially. So when I done other especially, I can focus on something, and I'll yes, and I'll finish up other tasks recently, and I have another problems is I often forget handling my homework. So I had another idea. It is now I learned to make a list when I handing homework. So I take I write a story on the list. So it will helps me handing in my homework.
Very good. Good ideas. Thanks for sharing. I'm sure that they will help. Anyone else?
Do you guys tell any of your classmates about this experience, hoping that they might want to join as well?
Amy, have you told anyone else? 你有没有告诉过些其他的同学，或者说让其他同学一起来参与我们的这个项目？
Yes, because in my school I have a friend in my class, and she likes animals very much. Same as Sam, she forgot to take his homework a lot of time. So she think it's a big problem for her in the school. So I told to her some things you can. I told her that you can make a list about next day what things you want to take to school, and she think I learned a lot of things about mistake in with English. So I think mistake is not a bad thing, and every mistake that you can
you can get your inspiration, and not only for yourself, but to influence people around you as well, right? Thank you, Amy. That's great to hear that.
Yeah, very impressive. Very impressive. Your projects, your ideas. Thanks for sharing them. Yang Yang, congratulations. I think it's an awesome job. I hope that many other kids get involved and also learn about that, because I mean, myself, I do prefer to work with somebody that has done mistakes in the past because they have tried so many times, that someone that has not done a mistake because they do nothing. So what you share with us is really important and will definitely be a difference when you're adults, when you grow up. So yeah, very, very important. Thanks for sharing, and keep it up. And we hope to have you back in perhaps in the next edition of the Global Innovation Field Trip, and
Yeah, we will.
and talk a little bit more about this awesome approach. All right.
Thank you. Thank you meeting you guys. So we'll meet
Yeah.
next time.
Thank you, and 谢谢，再见。
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 再见。
再见。